businessman HermanCain from Georgia. Welcome, Herman.
Thank you. Congratulations on COVID. Congratulations to the people of the Granite State for flipping this state, which shows that we the people are still in charge of this country. Thank you for doing that. Let it be borne in mind that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching your goals. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach for. It's not a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity to have no dreams. The American dream is under attack. The American dream is under attack because of too much legislation, too much regulation, and too much taxation. But there's good news. We can take it back. And we've already started to take back the American dream. Step number one in taking back the American dream is to stimulate this economy. It's real simple. Jobs, jobs, jobs will help to restore the American dream to millions of people who have given up hope. One of the first things I would ask this Congress to do in order to stimulate this economy with direct stimulus, not more government spending. Number one, lower the corporate tax rate from 35 to 25%. We are the only nation on the planet that has not done it in the last 15 years. And also lower personal income tax rates, because this may come as a surprise to the liberals. When people keep more of what they earn and businesses keep more of what they earn, the economy grows. You take it out of the government hands and you put it in the people's hands. The capital gains tax rate to zero. That's going to drive the liberals crazy. Let's take it to zero. The liberals want to argue, well, you're just rewarding the rich. No, you're not. You're stimulating investment in this country. Lowering taxes is not in their DNA, but if we take this message to the American people and they understand how it's going to stimulate the economy, I believe that we will be able to get the people to support it. Number three, repatriated profits. Take it to zero. They're not coming home anyway. This is low-hanging fruit. We've got nearly $1 trillion offshore that's not coming home because the liberals want to tax it. Take it to zero. Number four, let's give workers and employers a real payroll tax holiday. Not this little crumb that they threw out of lowering it a couple of percent. I believe that we can lower the payroll tax for every worker in America, 6.2% for a year. Every employer for America, the full 6.2%. Let's give every worker in America a raise of 6.2% for a year, and I guarantee you that this economy will be growing at a bigger rate than it is growing at. And the liberals are going to say, well, how are you going to pay for it? It pays for itself. If they would stop long enough and look at history over the last 100 years, proper tax cuts pay for themselves. We've simply got to educate the American public on that fact and not the fact that tax cuts cost money. Number five, and most importantly, in my 5-point plan, after you make those changes, make the tax rates permanent. Uncertainty is killing investment in this country. Make them permanent. And by putting more of the people's money back in the hands of the people, we will get government out of the business as a start of picking winners and losers. Government's role is not to pick winners and losers. Government's role is to make sure that they provide the environment for businesses to thrive and not just survive. Spending Let's start with repeal and replacement of Obamacare from a government-centered program to patient-centered program. Ideas are already on the table. All we have to do is take those ideas and pass it with the right leadership. Spending, 3 words: cut, cut, cut. I can think of a few agencies in Washington, D.C. that might need to be cut all the way to the bone. I don't believe in unfunded mandates. I believe, as Representative Ryan has talked about, if we are going to send money to the states, let's block grant it. And if I were President of the United States, I would use the same approach that I used when I took over some failing companies that were going broke. You do an across-the-board cut of about 10%. Then you do a deep dive. Mitt has done the same thing many times with businesses. Then you do a deep dive. That means that the CEO has to sit down with the new agency head and find those programs that are overlapping or duplicative, or they don't do anything anymore. Too many programs in Washington, D.C. simply just die on the vine, and we keep paying for them. Like Amtrak. The only way we're going to seriously cut is to restructure those programs like Social Security. That's where I would start. I would use the Chilean model with a personal retirement account option. Now the liberals are going to try to demagogue it and say, you're trying to privatize Social Security and take away the benefits for old people, puppy dogs, and kids. And this is how they generally try to demagogue stuff. The small country of Chile did it 30 years ago. They fixed their problem. I believe with the right leadership, we can also fix ours. Now here's why I believe we can do this, folks. We've got to have the right leadership in the White House. And I believe if you got the right leader in the White House that understands what I call common sense solutions, we can do this. And here's why. If you get past that line in that great document, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you'll find some more words, as I told a caller one night. If any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. We've got to alter it and abolish it too. I believe we can do this because we the people are still in charge of this country. The second reason that I believe we can do it is because this sleeping giant called we the people, the Tea Party movement, the citizens movement, whatever you want to call it, this sleeping giant has awakened and is not going back to sleep. This is why I believe we will be able to do this. Now, that being said, not going to be easy. It wasn't easy for the Granite State to turn this state. It's not going to be easy for us to take back our government. But I believe that we can. My grandfather was a small farmer all of his life. My grandfather used to take a wagon load of potatoes into town. He didn't drive down the smooth center part of the road. Grandpa would always drive on the rough part of the dirt road. And so I asked my grandfather one day, Grandpa, why do you drive with those mules pulling the wagon on the rough part of the road? He said, that way, by the time we get to town, all of the little potatoes will be on the bottom. And all the big potatoes will be on the top. We are the big potatoes. And we can take back our country.
Mr. Cain, do you support a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution? And if so, what provisions would you need to see in it specifically?
Yes, I support a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Absolutely. The provision in it should be real simple. Every year, the United States Congress could not spend more than we take in. It's really simple. And if we have a thriving economy, by stimulating it with direct stimulus, we won't have a revenue problem. And it'll be easier for us to be able to balance our budget every year.
Mr. King, businesses often support corporate welfare in the form of taxpayer subsidies. I'm thinking of the biofuel industry, which gets around $6 billion a year, while decrying other forms of welfare. Would you support ending taxpayer subsidies for businesses and corporations?
I can tell you from my experience serving on several corporate boards for the last 20 years, businesses would very quickly trade giving up any sort of subsidies and what some people call corporate welfare in exchange for less regulation. How about taking Sarbanes-Oxley and starting all over again? How about taking some of the other regulations that are costing businesses money and start over again? One of the things that I would do is to put together what I call a regulatory reduction commission. For example, for the EPA. And the people that I would appoint to that commission would be everybody that has been abused by the EPA.